Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike, and I'm excited to share another Divi tutorial with you. My goal here is to make learning Divi as straightforward as possible. Today we're going to see how you can build an interactive list on scroll with Divi's sticky options. So if that looks of interest to you, just hit that like button below, and let's jump right in. Alright, so to do so, what we need to do is we need to go in and create a new page. Alright, so I'm just creating a new page here, Divi sticky list demo. Alright, once you have that set up there, you can just use the Divi builder. Alright, as always, we're going to be building this one from scratch, but if you want to integrate this into an existing layout that you know and you've earmarked for this, then feel free to click that one, but for now, I'm just hitting build from scratch. Alright, so as it opens up, we have to add in a row. So I'm going to select this one here so that we can put the menu items on the left and the content on the right. So before we add any modules, I just want to make some changes over here. And that is to change the sizing. I want to make sure that this is 100% and the maximum width is also 100%. So we just want to make sure that this stretches the full screen across. Once that's across like that, let's go back to the content over here, and we want to jump into column number 1. All right, once column number 1 is open up, just go to the design tab, and we want to give this a little bit of spacing. So on the top padding and the bottom padding here, we want to make it 20 pixels. All right, but on the left and the right, we want to make it 3%. Okay, so left and right, we're doing 3%, and top and bottom, we're doing 20 pixels. All right, then what we also want to do is we just want to go to position, and we want to add in, well, we want to increase the z-index to 12. If you're not familiar with the z-index just pretty much determines which items sit on top of others. So an example of that is you see the settings box that we're working in here. This sort of lies on top of the website that's in the background. That means that this has a higher z-index than all the items in the background. Okay, so once that is done, let's just hit OK and save. All right, let's go add in some content. So the first thing that we want to add in is we want to add in that number. I mean, you can add in whatever content you want, but if you want to recreate like what I showed you earlier, the first item is a number. Okay, so just add in 1, and then let's go make some changes. So text, I used the Playfair display, I made it bold, and I made it B7, B7, B7. Okay. Then we want to move on to text size. So text size, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, what we're going to use today, but we're going to use what we call view width. So you get two different types. You get the VW and you get the VH. So it's view width and view height. So it's basically taking the screen display that you are viewing this on, and then it's going to tailor it to make sure that it works according or sizes it according to the size of the screen you're viewing on. Okay, so on desktop, we want to make this 2VW. All right, but then on tablet, we want to increase this because the screen size is already smaller, so you want to increase that. You don't want to keep it so small. So we want to push this up to 5. All right, and then on phone, it's an even smaller screen, so we want to push that up even more, push it up to about 8. Okay, and then line height, we bring that down to the bottom. Let's see if that carried across. Yes, it did. Okay, so all good, and we're done with the number. Let's move into the title. So we add another text module. And this one, I think we said content. All right, and we call this an H3. And then jump into the design. All right, so H3, same thing. We want to give it the play fair display. We also want to make it bold. I think I missed one setting on the number, but we'll go back to that. Then the color, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then for text size, back into the responsive here. So for desktop, we want to be 3 VW. Then we want to jump into tablet. Tablet, we want to go quite big. So let's go to 10. So the reason we go to 10 is because tablet is going to be taking up the whole space. It's no longer going to have the 2 columns because the column's going to sit under. So you need it to be a little bit bigger. And so for phone, that's going to be an even bigger size. So we go for 12. All right. So once that's done, let's jump off to spacing. And on spacing, let's give it a top and bottom margin of 2VH. All right. And then what we want to do is we want to go and give it a transform. Transform scale, we want to give it a 300%. Okay, so don't be alarmed. This is going to look very big and very awful at the moment. But the reason it looks like this is because we're going to give it that effect of when you scroll up, it's going to be very big and then it's going to go small again as it sits into the menu. All right, so that's done. Then let's transform translate and let's make this 30%. So we're just going to push it across a bit. And yeah, that's it for now. Close that one off. So as I said, it's going to look awful at the moment, but if you hover over it, it evens out. Okay, I just want to go back to the top here quickly because I forgot one setting on this one, and that is to make this italic. Okay. All right, so that's done. Let's add the divider. Okay, line. So I grab my color. Okay, once the color is done, I want to make sure it's solid, it's top. And then go to sizing, divider weight, we want to make it 4. And then also height, we want to make 4. Okay, so those are the 3 elements we want to place into our left column. Let's move over to the right column. So the right column, we had the image, and under the image we had the text. So let's just add in an image over here. All right, but I don't want to add in the image, but instead of its place, I want to give a background image. All right, so if we go background and we add in our image, the yellow one over there, so that, and make sure it's a cover, and make sure it says background position is center. All right. Now what we need to do is, you can see if there's no content in a background image, it's just going to display the line like this. That's not really what we want. So we're going to add a bit of margin just to push it down so that it can align with the content nicely. And then we'll give it some padding so that it'll actually show the full image. So for that, let's go to spacing. And in the margin for desktop, let's put 15 VH. Okay. And then for tablet and phone, we don't need that because it falls under. All right. Then for padding, we want 33 VH, and we want that top and bottom. All right, so then it pushes up that full image so you can see everything clearly. Let's save that, and then let's add in the last element, which is the text. Okay, just copy that and paste it one more time. And then we can go set that. I set it to cum sans, comb, whatever. Still to this day don't know. 2. Okay, and then we go play with the text size again. So for desktop, we want this to be 1.2 VW. All right. Then for tablet, 2.3, and for phone, 3.4. I want to make sure our line height, let's go back to desktop so it cascades nicely, is 1.6. All right, so there you can see it looks quite neat. All right, there's only one thing that's an issue, and that's, you can see here, it's hugging the side. So we don't really want it to hug the side here. And also on tablet, you can see it's hugging the side, this side. So we want to give it a bit of padding on both sides to ensure that it looks a bit neater. All right, so for that, we want to head off to spacing. And here we want to put in 5%. And then we don't want to put it in here, but we want to jump into desktop because on the right, oh, they've put it here. Okay, we don't want it there. So we want it on desktop. We want to have the 5%, but we don't want the 5% on desktop on the left-hand side, so that we leave that one blank. But if we jump into the tablet, then we want the 5% here as well, so that it can even out and look nice. All right, so phone should be the same. Yep, there, phone is looking good. Okay. Now that we have all our elements in place, let's go and apply some sticky elements. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to go and set column number 1 here as our sticky element. So stick to top. We want to make sure that the bottom sticky element on desktop, we want to stick this to the section, but on tablet and phone, we want to stick this to the row. Okay, then if we want to offset from surrounding elements, yes, we do, but only on desktop. All right, so on tablet and phone, no. And then transition default, yes, we want that one set there. And yep, that looks okay. Now let's jump in. So the very first thing we want to do is now doing the modules themselves. So the first one, let's go module 1, the first text module, and let's go to sizing. And we go to height, and height we push to 0. No, not 100. We want it to be 0. Okay, but our sticky height, the sticky, you can just click on what looks like the little pin and make sure you click on that one too. And this one we want to make auto. All right, so that'll determine on what's actually required. It'll just make that height. All right, so once that's done, let's scroll down a little bit to filters and then look for the option opacity. So opacity, we want to set to 0, but then in the sticky option, we want to push that back up to 100%. So that basically means that when the person first views the screen, they're not going to see anything because it's going to be invisible. But then as they scroll and the sticky element comes into play, it's then going to be 100% visible. All right, and then that's it for now on that one. Let's jump into the text module number 2, which is the header. And let's go to the transform and transform scale, and let's change this to 100%. Okay, so this is 300, sorry. I didn't select the setting yet, but if we select sticky, then sticky make 100%. Okay. So if we go desktop, that's 300. If we go sticky, that's 100. So that's the effect that we're going to get. So when you scroll, you're going to see the 300%, but when it hits the sticky element, it's going to be the 100%. But there's still one issue that we're having here, and we don't want it to sit here, but we want it to sit flush with the number. So if you recall, we made one other change when we were doing it earlier, and that is the transform translate. So if we click that one, remember we made it 30%. We don't want 30% anymore. We want it now to be 0. And so it pushes it off to the side. Okay. So that's looking okay. And then we just want to make this a little bit smooth. So let's go transitions and slow it down a little bit. Give it a full second to make this transition. All right, one other thing I like to do here is similar to the other one. Oh, not adding text. Filters. I also like to make the opacity here. Where is opacity? There. Push that down. And then for this one, for sticky, bring it back up. Okay. Let's jump into the divider. So for the divider, if you've followed any of my other tutorials, you'll know exactly what I'm going to do. And that is the maximum width. So maximum width, we make 0. But if it's sticky, we put the sticky, and we make this 120 pixels. Okay. Excuse me. And I think that is it, if I recall. So let's try that out. Let's save that. Then what we want to do is we want to duplicate this once and twice so that we have more rows available. Now, all we need to do is we need to change all the content to what we had on the other one. So if you're like me and you can't take the sight of how all this jumps around like that, while you need to change the content, the easy way to do it is just jump into the wireframes in the back. So you do that by hitting the purple button and then this icon over here. And it makes it much more manageable if you're just going to go change content over here. Okay, first module, let's change this one to 2. Second module, we changed to, was content, then it became design, I suppose. I can't remember exactly. And then image, let's change that one to the, no, remember it's not image, but it's the background image. We changed that one. I changed to the red one. Upload, save, and then do the same with the final row. So the number 1, yeah, we'll just want to change to a 3. And then we go to the heading. And I think this was coding, right? But let's call it develop. So we had design, now we have develop. Okay, and the background image. Let's just change this one to purple. Upload image. Save. All right, so in theory, we should have done everything that's required. So if we hit save draft or publish, up to you, and we just go exit the visual builder, you'll see that there's the background, well, the featured image that should be showing okay, but there's nothing on the left. Let's scroll down. As we scroll down, there it kicks in. And what about the next one? There, that one kicks in. And the last one, it also kicks in. All right, if we scroll the opposite direction, okay, there, that one goes away, that one goes away, and that one goes away. And so you can continue to add on as many as you want to see how you want to add up on this list. But it just becomes a little bit of a more interesting way to display lists when you're using a Divi website. And so basically that's it. That's how you can quite easily build an interactive list on scroll with Divi sticky options. I hope this tutorial will be useful for you, and if it has, do hit that like button to let me know. I am planning to post more Divi tutorials as I learn more about Divi. So please do hit that subscribe button to ensure that you do not lose out on any future tutorials. Your feedback is valuable, so please do leave a comment below with any suggestions or questions you might have. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.